Hi, welcome back to Petra's Happy Place. Today is going to be the next installment of the pattern highlight. As you recall, we are working on this pattern here. It is the Yarnspirations Go-To Crochet Shawl by Karen Simply Soft, by Karen. And they were asking for the Karen 1 pound, and you needed a size I hook. Now, the last time we were together, we were talking about gauge and measurements, and we started with the instructions. Okay? So, I had asked for homework to keep working on the first row to get it to where you liked it, and then start on the second row. Well, the first thing is, in looking at this graph or this pattern or diagram, whatever you want to call it, the chart, it was pointed out to me that there was an error. Okay, let's take a look here. In rows 3 and, no, let's see here. No, is it going to be row 3? Yeah, 3, 5, and 7. We've got an extra treble crochet here, and that's not supposed to be there. Okay, if we count the trebles here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's an 8th one, and that 8th one is not supposed to be there. So that is an error in this diagram. Now, that was pointed out to me by one of the viewers, okay? And as I was looking at it again tonight, I am realizing that there is yet another error. And you might have encountered this if you were looking at the pattern and comparing it to the words. Let me show this to you. Right here, second row, chain 7. So it counts as 1 treble and a chain 3 space throughout. Okay? So the beginning of the second row, and it looks like the beginning of the 4th row and the 6th row, all of the even numbered rows, says chain 7. But when we look at this graph, interestingly enough, when we look here, how many in the even rows do they have chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They only have 6, if I'm counting them right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like they're only using 3 as their treble, and it's supposed to be 4. So, when you do rows 2, 4, 6, 8, all the repeats that are even numbers, there should be 7 and not 6. Okay? In this case, I would look at the words. Okay? Look at the written pattern here. In the written pattern, it makes sense when we see that there's chain 7, right? Because it says back at the very beginning that the chain 7 counts as a 1 treble and a chain 3 space. Now, this is, I don't mean for it to be confusing, because this is all about learning how to read patterns. If you are reading the pattern and you don't care anything about the chart, then you're going to be fine. But if you're trying to compare it, it's not going to be the same, all right? That's why the last time we were together, I suggested that you write your own pattern, okay? Or draw your own diagram as you were doing it. And I hope that you took a few minutes and maybe that helped you realize that these that these errors were here. Okay? So, let's go back to row 1. Now, this we had done together. I'm going to bring the sample up. We had done row 1 together. And what it was is we were supposed to chain 10, join with the slip stitch to the first chain to form ring. Then we were going to, in the first row, chain 4, that counts as a treble throughout, 7 trebles, chain 1, 8 trebles in the ring. So that is what we did. Here we chained up, then that's the chain 4, then we did the 7 trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's our chain 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's hiding here, and then the last one is the 8th one there. Okay? Now remember, if I'm going too fast, please just stop and rewind until you can catch up. Now when looking at row 2, the second row, this is where, remember, we just chained 7. And I showed you again on that graph where the graph is incorrect. This is correct here. And what we were going to do here is, after we had done this, we were going to chain 7. This is the chain 7 that I did. Okay, let's turn it, and excuse all that. There we go. All right, so here's that chain, and then we were supposed to skip first treble. That's this first treble right here. Okay, skip it, and 1 DCFP. Now, some of you might have been confused as to what that was, but that is a front post double crochet. And so that you're going to yarn over and draw up a loop around the post of your next stitch at the front of the work, inserting hook from right to left. Yarn over and draw through 2 loops on the hook twice. Okay, that is basically a double crochet. So let me get this undone, because I want to show you how to do that. Okay, let me get my work together here. Now I'm going to, this is very confusing to me. Okay, now I'm looking at this here, and it says double crochet front post, and sure enough that is. So you know what, I had started working it incorrectly, and I'm glad I caught that. So here we go. We're going to chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turn. Now we're going to skip this stitch right here. This is the first treble. This is the second treble right here. What I'm going to do is yarn over, and I'm going to put my hook behind that. You see there? I'm just going to put it behind that entire stitch. Yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw up a loop. Alright, we're going to do that again. Yarn over, we're going to put our hook through that stitch right there, draw up a loop, go through 2, draw up a loop, go through 2. Alright, I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing a more confusing directions, and I'm wondering if you might be seeing that as well. Can you think of look at this pattern here. Look at this. Look what it says here. Chain 7 counts as a treble and a chain 3 space throughout. Then it says we're going to double crochet front in the front post. To me, that doesn't make sense, and I'll tell you why. Because here it says that it's going to count as a treble and a chain 3 space, which makes me believe that all of these should be TC or TRFP, treble front post crochet, okay? So I know this it might be very confusing, and I don't mean it to be, but I'm noticing several fallacies in this particular pattern, okay? Now, I'm looking here. I'm reading what this says. Now, let's go back to here. And when we look here, these are double crochets. If you will see here, there's only one little line through each one of these. But there's not this in that stitch key. It's not in the stitch key. So something happened when they were putting this pattern together, and I believe that these should actually be trebles. Okay? So if we are going to be making our own pattern, if we're going to be drawing this out, this would look exactly the same. Okay, we're going to start here, we're going to come around, we're going to do all this, but instead of this here, we're going to see 1, 2, let me put this here in the middle, 3, 4, all right, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, because it's one treble and then chain 3. Then when it shows these little front post, do you see how that little hook is coming around there? It's going around the post. So it would be, instead of the line and the hook with one line there, it would be 2. Okay? Do you understand what that means? So now it's going to be a treble. So I could just take my pencil here and then just add a little line to each one of these. All right, now that's what I'm going to do. So, and here, I'm just going to add like another thing, so that'll remind me when I'm looking at the pattern that I want to add an extra right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that here. And here, and here. All right, and then I'm going to go over here to all of this in blue, and I'm going to go ahead and make it another line up here to show me that it's actually a treble. All right, now let's go back, now that we're totally confused, let's go back to the actual yarn, okay? And I'm going to show you, I think it just even looks prettier with the treble. But the thing is, with the treble, is it feels kind of lanky. It feels like it's very difficult to work, because you're going to put 2 around your hook, go underneath that first stitch, draw up a loop, pull it up, draw, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Okay? And so we went around the actual post of that stitch. We're going to do that again. yarn over twice, go underneath that stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to repeat that all the way to this chain 1 space. Okay? Yarn over 2 times, go underneath, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Let's do it again. Yarn over 2 times, so you have 3 threads right there on your hook. Put it through that post, draw a loop up, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Now we're going to repeat that all the way across. Okay, until we get to that chain space there. Okay. All right, this is the last one. Now let's make sure that we have all the stitches that we need here. Okay. We're supposed to have 7. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we have the right number. Then it says right here, chain 5 and 1, we're going to make that TC, treble crochet front post, around each of the next 7 trebles. So if you want to use your pencil or pen or whatever you have, whenever you get done with a section, just draw a little line there so you know where you are in your pattern, okay? Sometimes even a colored pencil helps. But we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to yarn over 2 times, put it through the post, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. And we're going to repeat that all the way across. All right. If nothing else, we're all learning together, right? We're learning how to read a pattern. We're finding errors. We're trying to understand it together. Okay? Now, the thing is sometimes it's okay, you know, that if you aren't able to understand the pattern, you can look at the chart and maybe you're able to figure it out, or maybe it works the other way around. Okay, so now we've done our 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it says here, we're going to skip the last, let's see here, the last chain 3. And if you will look here with me, we're going to have 1, oh, this is going to be really tough to see, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain right in here. We're not going to chain, excuse me, we're going to do a double crochet, or excuse me, a triple crochet right in that spot, just like we've been doing. So we're going to yarn over twice, and in that top loop there, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, that's what it looks like from this side. But this is actually the wrong side. Look how pretty it looks from that side. Okay, there you go. Now this is what I'm using as a sample because it's a little bit easier to see. okay, the stitches. But let me show you this here. This is what I was working on earlier, and I've got a lot of yarn here for some reason, all those ends. But it has like a nice little ridge to it because we were doing those front post double crochets. Okay, so that's the way that is going to look. All right, if you are familiar with the virus shawl, we're basically going to form a 2-row repeat. Okay, so this is what I've done. Let's see here. We did this one together, and we've done this one together. Now we're going to do this row together. Okay, so let's put this away, and let's get our other yarn out, and let's see what row 3 says we need to do. Now remember, we are learning this together, all right? And so if things are not clear, we're going to just figure them out. Here it says chain 4. So the first thing we're going to do is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to make it easy here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a little mark right there. All right. So here it says 7 trebles in the first chain 3 space. Okay, so 7 trebles. We're going to turn it, and then in this space, this little space right here, we're going to do 7 trebles. So we're going to yarn over twice and put 7, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, 6, 7, oops, 7. It's a little wonky, but it's all right. Okay, now what? We did that. 7 trebles in first chain 3 space. We did that. Skip next 3 double or whatever, the front post, the 3 next stitches. Okay? So we're going to skip those, and then 1 single crochet in the next front post. All right, so let me show you this. Here's our double crochets, our triple crochets that we did on the front post here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to skip the next 3. 1, 2, 3. And in this one right here, we're going to do a single crochet. So let's keep our finger there, and we're just going to do a single crochet. All right. Next, let's mark that off. Then we're going to skip the next 3 front posts. Just concentrate on that. And then 7 treble, chain 1, 7 treble in the next chain 5 space. Okay. So we're going to skip. We're going to skip the next 3. 1, 2, 3. And in this big space right here, you don't have to go into individually here, just in that big space, we're going to do 7 treble, chain 1, 7 treble. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get some more yarn. 5, 6, 7. Chain 1, and we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I tell you. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. There's that. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to repeat what we did coming up. We're going to repeat that going down. So we're going to skip the next 3 the post stitches and then 1 single crochet in the next. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3 in the top of this one. We're going to single crochet. All right, and then we're going to skip these 3 stitches, and what does it say? 7 treble. See, we're going to skip these 3, then 7 treble, and the last chain 7 space. Okay, so now we're going to do 7 more. 1. Now, if you've already figured this out, you just skip ahead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then it says here, 1 treble in the 4th chain of the last chain 7. So let's go back to this. And let me see if I can show you here. Here's our chain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th one is covered up by all these stitches. That says we're going to do it in the 4th chain. So, starting here, 1, 2, 3, let's see here, no, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this stitch right here, we're going to do another treble. There we go. Okay, so that's what it should look like at the end. We're just kind of growing it out. Okay, now we have finished the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd row. I'm going to get rid of this page for just a second and come back over here. Here's the 4th row. Now remember how we saw this in the 4th row. We're going to be switching it up. Okay, we're just changing this part, not this. We're changing this, and we're going to do the triples. Okay, now I'm going to go over this pattern with you for the 4th row, but I'm not going to do it with the work. I want you to see if you can do that on your own. Okay, so I'm going to show you on the diagram. We're going to chain 7. And then this is the prior row right here, okay? And we did trebles in all of these. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then All right, and now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do the 7 trebles in the posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in these posts down here below. Then we're going to count up 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then another 7 trebles around the posts of these underneath. Now remember, there's an extra one here that we're not going to do, okay? Then here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 front post trebles in the ones behind. Then in the blue here it says 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then this definitely has 2 lines here. You can use your pencil and mark it too if you need to. That it has, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to do a treble in that third first chain 3 there. Okay. All right. And then all you're going to be doing is repeating these rows. Okay? You're just going to be repeating the rows. You're going to go back and forth. Now, if you have any questions and trying to pair this up, come over here and look at how they are writing it. Now remember, we have changed in the written pattern, we have changed double crochet to triple. Okay, that's the only difference in here. So if you want to come through and write TR wherever you see DC, you can do that. Okay, or just somehow make sure you see that we are not doing double crochet front post. We're going to do triple crochet. All right, so then in the 6th row, we're going to chain 7, skip first treble, and we're basically repeating everything back around. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you to, first of all, if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section below. I'm sure there's going to be lots of comments, lots of questions, and let's see if I can answer them, all right? And continue working on this. Maybe just work another row or 2 just to kind of get the feel for it, all right? If you feel comfortable enough and you think you understand it, go ahead and keep working on it. Don't skip too far ahead, okay? Don't get all the way to the edging yet. We'll talk about that later on this month, okay? So go ahead and finish up with the 4th row. Try to do the 5th row if you can. Let's see here. The 4th row is this blue row. Then the 5th row is this black row that comes around. Then the 6th row is the blue one, and so on and so forth. Okay? And it even shows you that you're going to be repeating rows 6 and 7. You're just going to be repeating rows 6 and 7 for as big as you want your scarf to be. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like with the yarn. I have chosen this pink yarn that I had won here. I'm trying to get all these extra yarns out of the way. You see how it's turning out? It looks very pretty with this raised pattern here, and that happens when you're using the post stitch. Okay? So let's go ahead and keep working this, and remember, do whichever you feel most comfortable with. If you want to change the words or the letters over here in your pattern, do that. Or if you want to come around and add the dash mark on that, or add the extra little mark on those double to make them treble, then you can do that. All right, so I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you for watching the pattern highlight, and hopefully I haven't confused you too much. For now, have a yarny day, and thanks again. Come back next time when we talk more about this pattern. Bye-bye.